Welcome everybody, welcome back to yoga, welcome to your mat. As usual, we'll open with 3 ohms. Bring your hands together and take a good sitting position. Both sit bones firmly on the floor, back straight. Move your ears back and then close your eyes and turn your attention inwards. Observe your breath. Exhale, inhale, 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 open your eyes, release your hands. Word of the day is unsaid. As I've been doing these videos and then having to edit them afterwards and then put them up on YouTube and so on, I've been forced to listen to myself. That's an interesting experience because I realise that I am disconnected from my mouth. My mouth is moving, my body is doing something else, and I realise that much of what I is really irrelevant. So a number of points around that. I was thinking this morning, listening to myself and trying to gauge what needs to be said, what needs to be unsaid, and what's better if nothing is said at all. So it's sort of driving a fine line between that. And so this morning I'm asking you to look out for in your practice what's left unsaid. So something that could be left unsaid is, you know, if your body only feels like 70%, doing 70% of what is asked for in the practice today, and that's what your body wants and feels like, and you know it in your body, then just follow that. That's an unsaid instruction that I am giving you, and listening out for the unsaid things in the practice, and then taking that practice out into your life. The things that are unsaid are often more powerful than what is said. And what was it? The Bedouins say, your tongue is your horse. Look after your horse. Okay, that's all I have to say. And make your way into down dog. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, walk your knees back, turn toes under and lift hips up. First down dog of the day. It just feels really good after our night's rest. And now returning to the word of the day. What am I not saying that I'm leaving unsaid? And what do you need to hear? Could be to set up at the foundation of your pose. It could be actually down dog is too much for me this morning. I might do child's pose while Marella's in down dog. You have license. It's your practice. Make it your practice. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Externally rotate your upper arms, invite your hips high, invite your heels close to the floor.
Walk hands to feet, come into forward fold. Line up fingernails with toenails, knees bent, allow head to drop. Press the heel of your hands into the floor, look back through your legs. Press down, stand up, come into mountain, feet hip width apart. Press down equally with the four corners of your feet into the floor. Squeeze your shins in, inner thighs. Stretch from your hips to your armpits. Broaden across your collarbones. Invite your shoulder blades together and down your back. Move your ears back. Engage your core. Stretch arms down, stretch fingers down. Mountain pose. Inhale, lift your arms up, clasp your hands together, interlace your fingers, turn your palms up. Move your arms into the back plane. Push the reverse side of your knuckles up towards the ceiling, so your mounds of your index fingers and all the fingers. Root down into the earth. Inhale, exhale, release, come into forward fold. Walk your hands forward, walk your feet back, come into plank, float your shoulders over your wrists, lift your head, look up, squeeze your ankles together, engage your core. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Lower all the way to the floor. And come into locust, hands bound. Clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Thumbs on your sacrum, which is the triangular bone at the end of your spine. Inhale, lift your legs off the floor, squeeze them together. Lift your arms up, stretch your knuckles back, lift your arms up as high as you can. Move your ears back. And release. Come onto your elbows, plank on your elbows. You may stay here where you just lift your head and torso off the floor, keep your elbows on the floor, or turn your toes under and float your hips up. Elbows under shoulders, push your heels away, engage your legs, squeeze your inner thighs together. Stretch your heels away from the top of your head. And make your way to down dog. Shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right leg high, swing it forward and line up your fingernails with your toenails. Lift your hands off the floor, lift your torso upright, place your hands on your hips. Lift your chest, stretch your spine, broaden across your collarbones. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Squeeze your elbows closer to each other. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Lift your head, move your ears back. Look up. And press down and pivot. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out. Lift your back heel off the floor. Sink down, front shin vertical, thigh parallel. Lift the back of the back knee up. Squeeze your elbows back. Lift your chest, look up, sink down. Press down and stand up and switch again to the front of the mat. Lower all the way down and come down onto your elbows again. Clasp your hands, interlace your fingers, push through your heels, lift your head, look up. Core nice and bright. And make your way to down dog. And moving into down dog lunge, shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right foot forward, place it on the floor, walk your hands forward and drop your head and look back towards your back foot. And switch legs, and noticing as you switch through the transition, do you stay present. Lift your back heel up over your toes, drop your head, stretch your front knee away from your back heel, front shin vertical. Step back into, step into forward fold. Line up your fingernails with your toenails, allow your head to drop. Pressing the heel of your hands towards the floor, press the backs of your knees away from you. Engage your core. Press down, inhale, stand up, come into mountain, either feet together or inner hip width apart. Just remembering that the root of your second toe lines up with the middle of your ankle. Observe your thoughts. Moving into summit pose, lift your arms up overhead and simply bring your palms together. Move your arms into the back plane, root down with your heels into the floor, engage your core. Release and moving into forward fold once more. Bend your knees, line up your fingernails with your toenails, allow your belly to come onto your thighs and press the backs of your knees away from you. Lift your hips up. Walk your hands forward, walk your legs back, come all the way down onto your belly again, moving into crocodile. Stretch your legs out behind you. Clasp your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Press the tops of your feet into the floor, flare your toes. Squeeze your legs together. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. And release. And make your way into down dog. Hands on the floor, turn toes under, lift hips up. Moving into high lunge once more, shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right leg up, kick it forward, line up your fingernails with your toenails, inhale, lift your hands off the floor, torso upright, and lift your arms up overhead, stretch your front knee away from your back heel, lift your head, look up, move your ears back. And switch to the back of the mat. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out. Lift your back heel to vertical. Stretch your front heel away from, stretch your back heel away from your front knee. Inhale, lift your arms up. Look up, sink down. Release your arms and switch to the front of the mat once more. Lower down onto your elbows. Interlace your fingers. Down dog. Place your hands, turn your toes under, lift your hips up. And stepping forward into twisted lunge, lift your right leg up, step forward. Hands off the floor, and bring your hands together as if in prayer. And then turning towards your right, bring your left elbow to the outside of your front knee. Press your elbow into your knee into your elbow. Press top hand, arm into bottom hand. Lift the back of your back heel up to vertical. Roll your right ribs back, your right shoulder back, and look up. Endeavouring to parallel your thumbs with your sternum. Lower your hands to the floor and switch feet. Front foot back, back foot forward. Torso upright, hands as if in prayer. And bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Press elbow into knee, knee into elbow, endeavouring to line up your thumbs with your sternum. Lift the back of your back knee up. Look up. Lower your hands to the floor, step your feet together, coming into mountain once more. And turn in. Turning into the only you there is, the uniqueness of you, yet always aware of being part of something bigger. Life has chosen to manifest itself in your body, in my body, and through that life we are connected. Summit, lift arms overhead, hands shoulder width apart, stretch up, root down, move ears back. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward, come into full forward fold, bend your knees. Place your hands, allow your head to drop. Dropping into a place of stillness, of quietness, our inner resource that's always there, that we have access to at any time. Moving into 8 angle pose, walk your hands forward, walk your feet back, come onto your knees, and then lower to the floor, cobra arms. Lower your chest to the floor, your chin to the floor, turn your toes under, walk your arms back, forearms vertical, engage your core, chin on the floor, gaze straight ahead. Stretch legs out behind you, stretch arms out in front. Bring palms together, but don't interlace your fingers. And then inhale, lift arms, lift legs off the floor. Release, and coming onto your elbows again. We're in plank on our elbows, interlace your fingers. Now actually, if you want to just do it a little bit different, palms your hands on the floor this time, turn your toes under, lift your hips up. Release down and make your way into down dog. And shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right leg up and kick it forward. Line up your fingernails with your toenails, we're back into high lunge. Lift your hands off the floor, lift your torso upright. Interlace your hands behind your head. Move your ears back, lift your head, look up. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Look up. Broaden across your collarbones. Lower your hands to your hips and pivot to the back of the mat. Lift your back heel off the floor. Lift your arms up. Clasp your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Look up. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Lower your hands, arms, and pivot to the front of the mat again. Lower all the way down onto your elbows. Interlace your fingers. Hover shoulders over elbows. Press your heels away from you. Lift your head, look up. And moving into down dog. Lift your hips up. Externally rotate your upper arms, grip the floor with your fingertips. Turn your sit bones up. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Look at a point between your thumbs. Melt your heart. Moving into no hand lunge, shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right leg off the floor, kick it forward, and then pivot your back heel so that your toes are turning to the long edge of the mat. Line up your front heel so it bisects the arch of your back foot. And then inhale, stand up, clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Stretch the sides of your body long, invite your shoulder blades onto your back, bend your front knee, sink down, front shin vertical, thigh parallel. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward and bring your head towards the floor, and then stretch your arms away from you and off your back and bring them to vertical or beyond. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Make sure your second toe is lining up with the middle of your ankle. Engage your quad of your left leg. Draw your right buttock in underneath. Lift your arms even higher. Lower your hands, arms. Press down with your right foot. Straighten your front knee. Come all the way back up to centre. Turn your right foot in. Line up the outside edge of your right foot with the short end of your mat. Turn your left foot out. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bend your left knee, sink down, and then hinge forward. Stretch your arms, your knuckles away from you to vertical or beyond. Lower your arms, press down with your foot. Ooh, I'm skidded. And stand up. That's one way out of the pose. And moving into, what's our next one? Yeah, we'll need a block. So if you have a block, moving into Trikonasana, I'm just going to take a drink for a moment. So come into mountain, feet inner hip width apart, root down, and visualize spaces coming between the vertebrae of your spine. Visualize a light thread coming out of the top of your head as if it was just pulling you taller. Grow the pose from inside. And remember, we don't impose the pose on the body. And turn and face the long edge of your mat and step your feet wide apart. Turn your right foot out. Line up your front heel so it bisects the arch of the back foot. Square your hips, your shoulders with the long edge of your mat. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, and look out over your right hand arm. Engage your biceps onto your arms. And then exhale, inhale and reach forward and place your hand either on the block or on the floor. Lift your top arm up to vertical. And of course, if you've got shoulder stuff going on, place your hand on your hip. Whatever feels good for you today. And again, it's looking for the onset. Give yourself permission. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor, engage your quad. Press front foot into the floor, engage that quad also. Roll left hip back, left ribs back. Look up. And lift the sides of your mouth, also known as a smile. Inhale, press down, stand up and pivot to the other end of the mat. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, place your block. Inhale your arms up, engage your biceps. Exhale, inhale, reach forward, place your hand on the block and lift your top arm up to vertical and check your foundation. Engage your quads. Inhale, press down, stand up and pivot to the other end of your mat again. Moving into extended side angle. And check your foundation. Your heel bisects the arch of the back foot. Inhale your arms up. And bend your right knee and sink down. Now you might wish to put your elbow on your knee like so, or place your hand on the block or on the floor. So again, what's unsaid. Inhale, reach forward and place your hand where it feels right for you. And then bring your top hand arm over your ear, your left ear, and look up. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Roll your left hips back, so your left ribs back. Press your front knee into your elbow. And press down, straighten your front knee, come upright, turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, place your block, inhale, lift your arms up, and then bend your front knee and place your hand on the block and bring your top arm over your ear. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. And press down, make your way to standing. And then we're moving into half moon. And place your block towards the front right hand corner of your mat. And of course you can use a book if you haven't got a block by now. And stepping forward with your right foot, bend your right knee, lift your right arm up, Lean forward and place your hand on the block. At that same time, lift your back leg out behind you. So your toes should be pointing towards the short end of the mat, that's your right toes. And then place your left hand on your hip. Root down with your right foot into the floor. Push through your left heel, make your leg active, and then either stay here or roll your top arm up. And again, look up. And gently release and switch to the other side. Right hand on hip, lift your left arm up, step forward with your left foot, bend your left knee, lean forward, place your hand on the block, lift your right leg out behind you, roll your right shoulder back, your right ribs back, lift your top arm up to vertical, push through your left leg and keep the left leg engaged, push through your right heel and look up towards the ceiling. And gently release. From here we move to Warrior Two. Step your feet wide apart. Turn your right foot out. Inhale your arms up. Bend your right knee, sink down. And again, being careful not to lean over your front leg. Keep your torso upright. Yeah? Then move your front knee out in line with your second toe. And make sure your arms are level with the horizon, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. Look out over your right hand arm, sink down, move your right knee out in line with your second toe. Lift your chin. Engage your biceps. Press down, stand up. You can allow your arms to come down to give yourself a rest, or keep them up. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, and bend your front knee and sink down. And then look out over your left hand arm. Move your front knee out in line with your second toe. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. And press down and stand up and step your feet together. And moving swiftly on, turn my page over here. We're into power pose. I'll just check the time. Feet hip width apart or together, whatever suits you. Inhale, lift your arms up. Arms shoulder width apart, point palms in. Brushing your biceps off your ears if that's available to you. Bend your knees, sink down, engage your core, and push down into your ankle joints. And press down and stand up. And moving into revolved Trikonasana. Step your right foot forward and turn your back foot out slightly, sort of 45-degree angle. Square your hips, your shoulders to the front of your mat. Place your right hand on your hip, lift your left arm up, cross your body and place your hand on the floor. And then roll your right hips back, your right ribs back, lift your right arm up. Draw your right hip back, squeeze your back hip, front inner thigh towards each other, engage your quads. You can also place your hand on the block or bring your hand to the outside of your shin or knee in this Turn your sit bones up. And release. And switch to the other side. Right foot back, left foot forward, square towards the front of the mat. Lift your right arm up, cross your body and place your hand on the outside of your foot. Lift your left arm, hand up. Squeeze your back hip, front inner thigh towards each other. And gently release. And from here we're moving into down dog once more. Hands wider than shoulders. Externally rotate your upper arms. Turn your sit bones up. Press down into your heels. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Feel how different this down dog feels from the first down dog. And stepping forward into forearm lunge, right foot forward. And lower down onto your elbows, or you might like to use blocks. So elbows shoulder width apart. Front shin vertical. Back knee on the floor, more doable. Back knee off the floor, more difficult. And switch through to the other side. Right foot back, left foot forward, lower onto your elbows, turn your toes under, lift your back knee off the floor, stretch your front knee away from your back heel. And release. And moving into down dog and side plank. Pivot your ankles to the right. No, actually, come all the way down and we'll come into cobra first. Lower down. Place your arms in cobra arms. Tops of your feet on the floor. Flare your toes. Your forearms are vertical. And keeping your feet on the floor, lift your head, shoulders and your hands a couple of inches off the floor. Keeping your arms in cobra arms. And release. Make your way into down dog. And pivot into side plank. Move your right hand into the middle of the mat. Pivot your ankles to the right. And stack your left ankle on top of your right ankle. This may be as far as you go. You can do it like this. Take that option there. Lift your top arm up. And then we're making our way into wild thing. You can stay here or lift your left foot up and place it behind you with your leg bent, with your knee bent. And then press down with your foot into the floor. Lift your head up, look up, allow your head to drop back. And come through down dog and switch to the other side. Shift your weight onto your left hand. Come into plank. Lift your top arm up. And place your foot on the floor behind you. Coming into wild thing. Press down with your right foot, lift your chest up, look up. child's pose. Sit back in your heels, knees wide apart. Inhale, come back to centre and moving into cosmic abs. I knew that would all make you really happy. Bend your knees, place your heels in front of your hips, shift your weight onto your right hip and start to bicycle your arms, your legs out to the left, your arms out, legs out to the left, arms out to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch over. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more times. Well done. Well done, folks. And moving into leg lifts. Come and lie on your back. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows into the side of your face. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, inhale, stretch them up. Exhale, inhale, lower them to the floor. We'll just do 5. Moving with your breath. Bend your knees and come into constructive rest. So place your feet on the floor in front of your hips. Lean your knees in towards each other, arms by your sides. Close your eyes, turn in. Moving into bridge pose, bend your knees, place your heels in front of your hips. Press down with your heels into the floor, lift your hips up, clasp your hands in underneath, shrug your shoulders towards each other, walk your heels back closer to your hips. Press down with your feet into the floor, lift your hips up, lift your chin out of your chest if it's in your chest. And if you can lift your hips 5 to 10% higher, try it now. And just gently roll your spine down vertebrae by vertebrae, from the top all the way down to your sacrum, and how good that feels. And make your way to thread the needle, lift your right foot and place the outside edge of it on top of your left knee, and bring your left knee into your chest and clasp your left knee with both hands, shin parallel to the ceiling, make both feet active, press your lower back into the floor. Notice your breathing. And switch to the other side. Right knee in, clasp it, make both feet active, push through your ankles. Push through your heels, I should say. And come and sit up, and we'll just do a twist before we finish. Lift your right foot, cross it over your left leg, stretch your left leg out on the floor, place your right hand behind you, lift your left arm up and bring it to the outside of your right knee. Press knee into elbow, elbow into knee, roll right ribs back, right shoulder back, look back over back shoulder. Push through the heel that's on the floor. Press down with your sit bones, engage your core. And release and switch to the other side. Lift your right foot, cross it over your left leg. Lift your right arm up, cross your body, bring your elbow to the outside of your knee, and place your left hand behind you. Keep drawing your left ribs back, your left shoulder back. Press both sit bones into the floor. Be as upright as possible. Look back behind you. And gently release. And where are we? We are out of time. Come into staff pose. Place your hands by the sides of your hips. Squeeze your legs together. Push through your heels. Stretch the sides of your body long. Broaden across your collarbones. Move your ears back. Engage your quads. Engage your biceps. Hug the muscles to the bones. Release and make your way into reclined child's pose. Come and lie on your back. Bend your knees. Wrap your arms around your knees and give yourself the most delicious, warming, loving, comforting hug. Celebrating the uniqueness of you showing up in this life. And make our way into relaxation. So if you have a blanket, now's the time to get it, or if you wish to put on a cardigan to keep yourself a little bit warm. Stretch arms out. Stretch your legs out. Arms by your side, turn your palms up, invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Close your eyes. You might like to take a deep breath, or maybe two. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, sinking into your mat. Treating your thoughts as mere clouds in the vast emptiness of awareness.
the new story of your life. Say you finally invented a new story of your life. It is not the story of your defeat or of your impotence and powerlessness before the large forces of wind and accident. It is not the sad story of your mother's death or your abandoned childhood. It is not even a story that will win you the deep initial sympathies of the benevolent goddess or the care of the generous. But it is a story that requires of you a large thrust into the difficult life, a sense of plenitude entirely your own. Whatever the story is, it goes as it goes, and there are vicissitudes in it. Gardens that need to be planted, skill sown, the long hard labours of prose and enduring love. Deep down in some long encumbered self, it is the story you have been writing all of your life, where no calypso holds you against your own unwillingness, where you can rise from the bleak island of your old story and tread your way home. Begin to deepen your breathing. Start to move your hands, your feet. Awaken your body. Perhaps give yourself a stretch. And if you wish, you can stay there or make your way up to sitting. One last time, close your eyes, turn in. To honour ourselves, each other, the practice, we close with one Om. Exhale, inhale. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for coming to practice. See you on the mat.